Happy Hump Day, everyone, and welcome back to FNN Sports Take with me, Kasey Hudson. I hope everyone's having a solid week so far. We just have a few updates for you guys, but I have to say that the sports news and updates are getting better and better. I think we're getting closer to having sports back in our life the way that we want them. As for the MLB, they began telling their players to be ready to return this summer. To be more specific, the Cleveland Indians took to a Zoom call that included 70 members of the organization to begin planning. They want to return and do a spring training as of June 10. And then they want to reset the opening day date for July 1. The goal is to still play as many games as possible. They don't want to have to cut any games out. They want to have a very effective playoff system. So we'll see what takes place with the MLB, and hopefully they can kick back up their season on June 10. The NBA is actually looking to reopen their practice facilities tomorrow, so we'll see which teams abide by that, get their players back in the building. We haven't heard any pushback from any NBA players. They're trusting their medical team. They're trusting what the organization is trying to do, so we actually might have some NBA back in our lives starting as quick as tomorrow. For the NHL, they are favoring the fact of having a 24-team playoff system. They say that they're just trying to make it as quick as possible in terms of having the best teams out there. They got some pretty adequate statistics in terms of who they think would rank into playoffs. And to get things moving along, there are some games that are going to have to be cut out, but they're still configuring some things. The one thing that's kind of been ruled out is we're not hearing any more isolation talk in terms of the guys heading to North Dakota. It looks like most teams, professional teams, are just looking to make the best out of home cities, because if you don't let any players in the, if you don't let any fans in the building and you just leave it to players and the staff, and you pay as close attention as possible, you can probably manage that better than having all these teams come into one area on just kind of hoping that nothing's going to get in the building and COVID's not going to spread. As for somebody who's taking quarantine protocol very seriously, Prime Minister Trudeau says nobody will be coming into Canada without following quarantine protocol. If these guys end up going up north, they're going to have to put themselves in isolation for 14 days before they can touch any hockey. In other hockey news, the Blackhawks fired John McDonough, and hats off to Penguins goalie Matt Murray, who opened up a $5,000 tab for police officers at Primanti Bros. He's going to actually be our hero of the day for this segment. So not a community hero, but just a general hero. Anybody that reaches out to do better for their community is a hero in our book, and we always want to take a minute to honor and applaud them. Now, as we get into some local news, of course, Tom Brady's back in the headlines. Why not? But it's not particularly Tom Brady talking out directly. It's a former teammate of 9 seasons. Teddy Bruschi wanted to give his new teammate some advice. In other words, he said, don't be a Brady watcher. Don't sit on the sidelines and let him take over the game and carry it just because he quote unquote can. You want to make sure that you just treat him like one of the guys. The last thing you want to do is sit back and put the team on Brady's shoulders. So there's some advice for his new teammates that you guys would take into consideration. Hopefully you'll get a chance to be one-on-one at OTAs, non-virtually, here shortly. For our other Florida teams, Tua will not be wearing jersey number 13. He will be rocking number 1 on the field and number 1 in hopeful Dolphin fans' hearts, because we know that the Dolphin fans are hoping for a better season. They've been itching for one for years. All right, guys, we're going to head to a quick commercial break, but stay tuned with us as we head across the pond when we get back.
One of the things I love about Bass Pro is they have 3 great ways to shop. You can head into one of their awesome stores, visit BassPro.com, or get great gear from that catalog Johnny Morris sends out. Hi, here's your package. Bass Pro Shops, where commitment, passion, and the great outdoors all come together. Why would you shop anywhere else?
Why would you stop anywhere else? Welcome back, guys. All right, we're going to quickly head across the pond. The biggest news so far is the fact that France declared there will be no sports in France until September. So that answers a lot of open questions in regards to what's going to be taking place with the Grand Prix, the races that they had to reschedule. We will not be seeing them returning or rescheduling this summer, especially when it comes to obviously racing in France. Premier League has been a big topic for us because there's been talks of how fast they want to return. They actually set out a date. They want to get back in gear around June. You have players who have gone to social media to say that they're excited about this. They're ready to get back on the pitch, but we still have a lot of players who are announcing how fearful they are to actually get back in gear too soon. We want to get some feedback on this, though, because an article got released today that said, will there be summer of soccer or will there be lawsuits? And if so, where are these lawsuits going? Are they going to be the players taking lawsuit action against their clubs, or is it going to be the government taking lawsuit action against the clubs? So it's going to be fascinating to see what takes place there. Regardless, we know that sports is trying to make a comeback in the safest manner possible. We've discussed a little bit of the transfer market opening up May 17th and some of the big names that have been talked about amongst this trade market conversation. Neymar potentially heading to Barca, and Real Madrid attempting to load up their roster, although we have not heard any further conversation in terms of Cristiano Ronaldo making a return to Real Madrid. So we'll see what takes place with that. Again, we are just about a few days out from the transfer market opening up, so we should be hearing a little bit more concrete information on negotiations, on contracts, and on salaries that are going to be taking place, and some of the big names that are going to find new homes. Guys, that's a quick wrap for me tonight. There's the most information that we have for you all. We will have some more information in depth and more sports coming to you on Friday. I'm so excited to give you some further information and announce some things this Friday. So make sure you join us at 8 p.m. at FNN Sports Take with me. I'll catch you guys on Friday.